Thank you for joining me for another video. This is Playtime with Dragonfire. And here we are in the next day where we are following the clues as the game wants us to. So in a previous episode, we spoke with the staff, the awakened staff behind me, and it did mention that we should try to find the map room. So that's what we're going to do today. So we'll pick up the staff. We are bringing our follower with us, and we're going to head to the Unnamed City. Because that is where the map room has been indicated to us. Wow, he came up a little late. Let's go ahead and take care of him because he's hanging out near our base.
I will fix it on you!
Alright. And we move toward the Unnamed City again. We can use the extra experience from the hyenas. So the Cannibal Brood has made it to level 10. If we take a quick peek at her stats, she received Relentless for her first perk to give her a 5 vitality. So she's got a decent amount of armor at this point, or health. Alright, so we're just going to head on right over there, past this wall, and we will be within the city. Let's get the experience from the hyenas here. There's a few dragons down there. We will avoid the larger ones because we are not really high level, so we will hold off. We have an old camp here. Let's go ahead and read the note that's with it.
Jakad is gone, swallowed by the darkness and desolation. A winged demon screeches a haunting dirge as it flees with my companion towards the stars. Ever since we took our first steps into this city, we knew that something was waiting for us. The darkness is a tide, lapping at the shore of my sanity, eroding it. Blood seeps from wounds I didn't know I had. The ruins cast insane shadows on the landscape, and they cast a shadow on my mind. The past and the present run together in my mind, and I am a slave rushing to help my master, and I am a woman screaming in the ruins, and I am a god planning wars and wickedness, and I am a sandstorm scouring the lands, and I am myself.
I will feast upon you!
Exiled.
God will have your soul!
And we are going to finish gathering a few of these because they have a lot of experience. Really? It looks like you sidestepped it. Gathering a little bit of corruption over there. So we're doing pretty well with that. Let's take a quick peek at her experience. She is getting pretty close to level 11 with all that. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves to heal up a little more. And the archives are actually over there. So while we're here, let's go ahead and adventure this way. And I'll show you something in here as well. So we actually have
I smell you,
the
human.
War Maker.
The stench of your kind has not improved throughout the eons.
And if we talk
Ashes
to
and
him,
dust, human. Ashes and dust. All that remains of what we once were. An echo of an echo. In my mind, I still walk the streets of our city. The iron scent of blood as I pass the temple of the old serpent. The thrumming power in my veins as I chant the ritual of summoning. The intoxication and ecstasy of knowledge. Ashes and dust. When the world was shattered, your people came to us as refugees. We were generous. We gave them the wild north. They built a city there amongst the trees and practiced weird sciences and worshipped their demon gods. For 1,000 years, there was peace and trade among our peoples. But your kind is ever seeking, ever grasping, ever multiplying. War was inevitable, and when it came, it was terrible. I see that you wear the bracelet, human. When the war between our peoples began, we created such to bend the prisoners of war to our bidding. My kind are long-lived and slow to replenish our numbers. And as we dwindled in the war, we increasingly came to rely on human prisoners to provide us with labor. To that end, we created the bracelets. To bond your kind, to control your movements, to allow you to understand our language, and to prevent your kind from escaping. But that was an eon ago. To what purpose they have now been attuned, I cannot say. I was one of the triumvirate that ruled this land. The archivist concerned himself primarily with the collection of knowledge, and the priest king had dominion over our spirits and the rituals of our faith. My people called me the War Maker, for it was my duty to keep them safe, and for a while I did my duty. I held the northern passages against the humans. Together with the archivist, I established the watchtowers to warn us of the coming of the humans. They burn still, bonded one. When their color changes, it is because those of your kind have crossed the borders to our kingdom with the intent to slay, burn, and kill. pretend we were betrayed. During a skirmish in the north, the humans revealed a new weapon, forged of their strange science. It smashed through the ranks of my troops, turning those captured in its blast into solid stone. Those who survived fled south to lick our wounds. During this moment of weakness, the Priest King came to me with a proposal. A new ritual to counter the human sciences. A powerful magic to scour the landscape and drive them forth. In desperation, I agreed. Do you understand, human? I've been alone in the darkness for a long time, human. Few have come to me over the eons. But there was a man who came here years ago. I had not spoken with another being for thousands of years, and there was a hunger in me for conversation. He did not wear a bracelet as you do, so he learned my speech, and he listened to me talk of this city and what it once was. And for a while, as I described it to him, it lived again in my mind. Perhaps I spoke too much. When I told him of the greatest artifact of our religion, the Serpent Ring of Set, he left me to search for it. And now your kind come into my city again, wearing the slave bonds and disturbing the dead. Time has taught me that coincidences are simply patterns that I have not yet understood. I have no time for the chittering of simians. Everything ends, human.
And that is Warmaker Clell. He is actually friendly, but he does tell us quite a story. So we'll head up this way and work our way over to the Archivist. Now the staff did previously talk about the Archivist and the Priest King and Clow. Alright, those guys do take a little bit to fight, so I might try to avoid more of them. I'm going to head in that direction. There's a lot to look forward to within Unamed City. As I'm looking around because I know I heard skeletons. There they are! Get our stamina. Try to beat him to a swing so I can get mine.
I will drink your blood.
And double check. Let's see, we're getting wolf pelts. We don't need wolf pelts. We'll keep the rhino. Alright, where we need to go is to the left of the obelisk. We're also going to grab the obelisk on our way through. In fact, I'm going to tell her to stop and stay there. There are a lot of skeletons here, so we're going to try to avoid fighting all of it. There we go. Tuned our bracelets. So when you run up to an obelisk, you want to touch it with the E for interact. And depending who's chasing us. Alright, there's a couple. They stopped. There used to be chests in here. There they are. So there's some silver, some ore, or some oil, and steel fire. Get down here, and we will no longer receive corruption. Let's go ahead and eat. Drink a little. So here is the Archivist.
Do not be afraid, bonded one. I am just a shadow, a whisper of what once was. Before the fall, when this kingdom raised knighted pillars of black stone to the sky, I was called the Archivist.
So now the Archivist has a long story. Now there's a slight issue with this, and I'll tell you here in a second. So once talking to him, you can learn Cartographer, which will allow you to create the map, which you can use to teleport around the world based on the obelisk. Now, once I've talked to him, I'm going to say goodbye.
To know is to live, human.
So I spoke to him just once. Now, I picked up the staff on purpose. Now, you cannot place the staff anywhere in here. So this is where it gets a little touchy. I need to run out of here in order to place the staff, in order to talk to it, and then come back. And we have a hole here. So we're going to run out. We're going to follow that. We're going to get out of here. Talk to the staff. I'm also going to recall my follower. Let's get my stamina back up here. Going to get away from the corruption that we have. There might be one skeleton that we end up chasing. Or that ends up chasing us. Get away from the corruption. There we are. And we're gonna climb over the wall here. Bring out the staff and see where we're allowed to place it. In fact, now we'll call our cannibal brute. She should appear back here behind me. She hasn't appeared yet. I'm running this way on purpose, and I'll show you. There she is. I'll show you in just a moment. Let's take a look. Yep, she's fully healed, didn't get hurt. Good. Still not allowed to build here, so we're just running away from the middle of the city at the moment. And here we are. We found a place we can set this down. Now we'll talk to it.
Ooh, the diadem of the giant kings. An artifact of singularly
Okay, so now that we've talked to the... Alright, I'm going to place him. And now I'm going to put I'll put a text up of what the chat is from talking to the staff. And I'll pick it back up. We're going to run over here, and we'll go back and finish talking to the archivist and listen to what he has to say, because it's pretty important for what we've got. And we're going to do that by using a slow fall to drop down into the map room.
Your soul!
We're going to wait for a slow fall to wear off so we can hear this. We're going to go ahead and talk to him and finish listening to him.
Do not be afraid, bonded one. I am just a shadow, a whisper of what once was. Before the fall, when this kingdom raised knighted pillars of black stone to the sky, I was called the Archivist.
Alright, now we're going to continue talking to him, and we're going to listen through his speech so that we get an idea of what we need to do.
Have you come to seek a way free of the bonding bracelet, human? There is only one chance, and a very slim one at that. You must assemble the items of power that were present at its creation. The diadem of the giant kings, the mask of the witch queen, the tears of two races, the star of the champion, the heart of the sands, the shining trapezohedron, and the serpent ring of Set. I fear I set you an impossible quest, human. The diadem of the giant kings was once worn upon the brow of the priest king. He fell in battle with Tyros, the Deathbringer, in the battlefields of the north. More than that, I cannot say. The priest king was the most passionate and most volatile among us. I fear his downfall will not have been a simple matter. The Witch Queen of Lemuria was our great enemy in the dying days of our race. Her people came to us as refugees, but even as they took our succor, they plotted our downfall. She was present at the creation of the bracelet, lending her power to ours. Her fate is unknown to me, but she always ruled from her city in the swamp to the east. The tears of two races were simple to obtain when we performed the ritual. We simply took our tears and combined them. But who is left to weep for both races? Although tales persist of Tyros the Deathbringer, he was born of both races. Our blood mingled with theirs. Perhaps his tears could be enough to fulfill the requirement. Obtaining them would be quite the feat. The star of the champion lies buried beneath the sands of the arena in the east. I remember well the day that Tyros killed the mighty dragon. He wept to defeat such a noble creature. He placed the star upon its brow. As far as I know, there it remains. The heart of the sands, or simply The Scourge Stone was an artifact of power. The Priest King used it to create a weapon, the Sandstorm, that he swore would be our salvation. He gave it to the Warmaker to unleash upon our enemies. As far as I know, it was destroyed in the attempt. But perhaps the Warmaker has more insight. The Serpent Ring of Set. It was our most powerful artifact. It was kept in a tomb beneath this city, and then one day, a human came. He had all the words and signs of power. He passed through every ward and trap we had put in place. He took the Serpent Ring of Set, and he left. If you wonder why you wear the bracelet, wonder no more. It must have been this man who called himself Tohamon. Dedicate yourself to recovering the other artifacts. You will not recover the Serpent Ring of Set as long as you are trapped in this empire. Perhaps it will be enough. When you have the artifacts, you must place them on the receptacle north of here. Once you have filled this vessel with the artifacts of power, it will create a keystone. To remove your bracelet, all that is required is to touch it with the keystone. And then, mortal, you will be free. But freedom will mean giving up all that these lands have come to offer you. So choose wisely. How did I die? I was betrayed by your kind, in a place called the Circle of Swords. I went in good faith to meet the Witch Queen. She had promised peace. I was cut down. My bones were left to rot in the wind. And yet, my spirit has always belonged to the Archives, human. And so, I am here. And here, I shall remain.
Alright, and there is his full speech. So now we have lots of clues and a goal of what we need to do. So the first thing we need to do is recover the diadem of the Giant Kings.
Every new learning is a new beginning. Remember that.
And for that we will do in the next episode. Over here, if you have a fragment of power, you can pull the scroll and slowly work them and learn more knowledge. I don't have any on me, so I'm going to run out of here. We're going to try not to fight, and we'll see everybody back home. And we've returned. So we're going to go ahead and place our staff down one more time. And now we're going to talk to it again after we've spoken completely to the Archivist.
Ooh, the diadem of the Giant Kings. An artifact of singularly unimpressive power. My former master, known as the Priest King, used to wear it as a symbol of his authority. His head looked like a carrot with a silver belt wrapped around it. But you certainly provided him with all the qualities you'd expect of an elderly authority figure. Stuffiness, a great love of his own voice, and the inability to control his bowels. The last time I saw his face, I was tumbling down into the dregs. It was right before he went north to do battle with his half-breed son, Tyrus. I checked the northern battlefield. Someone has probably smelled him.
So that is a clue now to finding the diadem of the Giant Kings. So we will handle that in the next episode, where we will head to the northern battlefield and locate where the Priest King resides. We will continue to carry this with us as we travel so that we can consult with it as we go. So in the next episode, we will work our way up to locate the Priest King's location. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that like button below and subscribe so you can be notified of future videos. I would like to thank you for allowing me to share my playtime with you.